Welcome back to the channel, everyone. David Bronshinkle here with a DIY project for everyone, from boaters to non-boaters, and that is to safely store your dipping dyes. Dipping dyes are really nice products that allow you to customize your soft plastic baits on the fly and hard baits at the same time as well. But they tend to be a little messy at times, especially when you're in rough water and it's inevitable, especially with the full bottle, that some of it might end up on your boat carpet or your clothes or maybe on the seats, somewhere where it does not belong. And if you've ever had to deal with that, you know that it's a pain in the butt and takes forever to get out. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own box that allows it so we no longer have to worry about it. As you can see, I carry all my dipping dyes and a few nail polishes, as well as a bottle of Mendit in here. I got my markers. Everything you'll need for your lure customizing needs are right in here. And the best part is, you no longer will have to take your dipping dyes out of your box. So before we get into the nitty gritty of this project, everyone, I'd really appreciate it if you smash that subscription button, give me a like, comment down below. What do you think of the box when we're all done with it? You know, hopefully it's a DIY project that you'll find useful. You'll be able to take the box and not have to worry about getting dipping dye all over your buddy's boat carpet, you know, unless you really want them to have a stained up boat carpet because they owe you 50 bucks and they haven't paid you back yet. But I digress. Let's get into the project. So here are the tools and materials that we're going to need to make this dye storage box. Number one is obviously the container itself. I picked up this Systema Clip It 101 ounce container. It's the perfect height for the bottles and has enough room for your marking pens and whatnot. It's also got a gasket on it to make it waterproof, and so if a container does leak, it's not going to just spill out everywhere. For our foam that we're going to use is this craft foam that I picked up at Walmart. It was like $3. It does come in multiple sizes. I'm using the number 12 block, which is going to basically take up half to 3/4 of the container, I guess you could say. That's just the one I use. You can get a bigger sheet to cover the entire box, but because I like to use the other half for my marking pens and whatnot, I don't have multiple every color under the sun for dyes. I just use a half piece. We're going to need a Sharpie to mark and we're going to have a tape measure how obviously long we need. I believe this here is 8.5 inches. We're going to have a file to shape it because the container corners are obviously round and not square. So either a file or some sandpaper, just a regular hand coping saw to cut the block. You don't need anything fancy. Drilling our holes, we're going to use spade bits. The spikic bows are 1.5 inch bit. If you're going to put a slot for a Mendit bottle, we're going to use 1 3/8. And then most of your nail polish containers will require 1 1/4 drill bit. And then obviously a drill to make the holes. So let's get started here. We're going to first measure out the size of block that we need. Looks like it's 8 9/16. So we're going to take our block here. Try and work around a camera. It's kind of harder. A lot harder than I thought it would be. And this doesn't have to be super perfect. Again, I'm trying to work around a camera here. Not really used to it. You aren't seeing it there. Close enough-ish. Actually, probably could use a straight edge, would probably be better for this, other than using this file edge. But it'll be close enough. And we'll just go over to the side here, and we'll get this cut. Looks like we made it a little too big, or we're going to have to round off the edges here. That's fine, not a big deal. Just kind of try to, yeah, we probably should have gone a little bit. So now we got it fit in there the right length, but as you can see, we got to file down and round off the corners here in order to make it fit better. Take this plastic wrapper off, and we'll just, and because the edge, the container edge here is also round, we gotta round off the bottom. You only have to do 2 sides because obviously this is only a half a block. If you did a full block, you would have to do, or if you were going to do a full size block or container, we'd have to do all 4 edges. But because we're only doing a half a, between the foam and a half of a one, we don't need to do that. So. Always there too. We're getting there. This looks like we need to get that a little bit more. Better to take this process nice and slow, because you can't replace the material that you take off. So slow and easy does it. And it doesn't have to be totally perfect, but so let's see how it fits now. Seems to fit pretty good all the way down to the bottom. Next up is to put the holes in. So we'll take our 1.5 spade bit here, go to the edge here, and then you don't want to necessarily put them, you know, in a straight line unless you're doing a full block. I like to stagger them kind of on a, like here, kind of in a up down mountain zigzag kind of fashion. So we'll go, and you don't want to get too close either to the edges for obvious reasons, because otherwise you will damage it. So, and we're going to go all the way through here. Slow at first, just to see where it's cutting at. Alright, we should be fine there. Once you're through, all the way through, you're good to go. The next one we'll put a little bit over here. Again, try to make sure you don't get too close or anything like that. There, that'll give you 4 bottles of Spike dye. we'll do our Mend It bottle container right about here, I'm thinking. Yeah, we'll do our Mend It bottle right here. And we can put 1, 2 bottles of nail polish there. And that's what you want to avoid. No, this is still technically fixable. Just some super glue. But that's not what you want to do. Mistakes happen. I got a little too... That's what happens when you get a little too close to the edge. I should have had this hole a little bit further over. But we'll get that fixed here real quick. So we'll super glue that, put some tape on it, call it good. Getting a little carried away here. Now we'll go to the other side. We'll do a nail polish bottle right there, I'm thinking. Now on those, you don't really have to go all the way down. And I probably could have gotten away with not going all the way down on the Mend It bottle slot, but a little late now for that. So we'll find another spot here that's somewhat decent. So now we'll go back and we'll fix this mistake here, which won't be a big issue. I'll just grab some tape here real quick. So we got some tape, we got some super glue. We'll just glue this puppy right back up. Again, this part here, the Mend It part, was completely optional. You don't have to do it. You can make as many holes as you want, but I'm just showing you how, if something like this happens, how easy it is to fix. Put some super glue. I'll probably glue my fingers here together. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get some glued up fingers here. And then just for good measure, we'll put some tape on this until it dries, and actually we'll probably just leave the tape on because it's not a super important structural part. But I'm just saying, these foam blocks are pretty cheap. So if something like this does happen, if you're a perfectionist, you can easily just go buy a brand new block. These happen, and voila, it's ready for some dye. So we'll get, so we can stick a bottle of black there. We'll stick our green pumpkin on this slot here. It's kind of a tight fit at first. And that's what you kind of want, and that's what you want. You don't really want it to move too much. And then what I like to do is I like to put my marking pens, my Sharpies, what have you, and that there. We'll throw in an old gift card thingy-mabobber. And voila. Oh, and I'll also put a piece of paper towel in, just for in case we do get some messes. And voila, we got a dye storage container that houses everything that you could want, snap shut, and yeah, it's not going anywhere. So yeah, it's nice, cheap, easy. Pack a lot of things in there at once. And there we have it. A very nice, simple, cheap and easy dipping dye box. This container at Walmart costs $8, I believe, and then the foam that we used for the block was like $4. So you're looking at 12 bucks for the box that has a waterproof gasket. You don't have to worry about your dyes spilling out. Nice thing about this is also, especially for you co-anglers that are in someone else's boat, you don't have to worry about accidentally spilling stuff onto their carpet, because you don't even have to remove the container anymore. Let's get a different color here. Chartreuse might not end up dyeing that very well. So, you know, we can just put the cap in there and just slowly dip our bait in. And then I usually keep the paper towel here just to put the bait on until I can put the cap back on. From there we can just close it back up. Hook our bait onto our hook, and away we go. We don't have no mess. No, if you're in rough water, it ain't going to spill, no nothing. If it does happen to spill, at least it's inside the container. It's not going to get on the carpet or anywhere else where it shouldn't belong. I also, again, I like to keep my marking pins in here to mark up and color hard baits. We've made a slot for our Mendit glue, and it's all customizable. You can put as many holes in here as you want, or in the foam block as you want. You don't have to put two smaller slots for nail polish. You can put one or another slot in there for dipping dye if you have more than 4 colors that you like. If you don't use the marking pins at all, just get the bigger foam block that's like $8, cut it to size, drill multiple holes. You should be able to get 2, 4, 6, probably 8 different color dipping dyes in here. It's just a real nice, easy, simple storage solution that won't bust the bank. There's a couple other dipping dye kits that I've seen online. I believe Dying to Fish Dye Safe is one of them. It looks like it's in a plain old box, but the dipping dyes are stored on their side, which I'm not a real fan of in case the bottle does start to leak. At least with the upright system, it eliminates the chances of the dye accidentally spilling out a lot more. So hopefully this is a DIY project you guys can use, and you know, we're going to get back to work on a boat here in the next few videos and go from there. So till then, everyone, we'll see you out in the water.